Well, hey there, welcome to day 985 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sharing what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world of business. A couple years ago, I had the opportunity to explore different possibilities for my life, for my journey, for my career, for my experiences, for what I wanted to do. Long story, but after like 47 years of running my own businesses and working in corporate America, I switched to the online world. I had an opportunity to explore something I'd always been curious about was the internet and the World Wide Web. And I wanted to actually hop in and see if it was as magical a place as people made it out to be. And it's that and much, much more. It's also extremely frustrating, extremely challenging, and easy as heck to get lost in the shuffle and lost in the rabbit holes and all the different pitfalls. Just like in the offline world, there's a lot of pitfalls, and there's pitfalls that are unique to the online world that I had never experienced in the offline world. And it's interesting that I didn't think I would fall into them, but I fell in as if I were falling down a mine. So today I'm just sharing what I'm working on. I'm working on the Get Up and Go Challenge, day 9 today of our 30 plus day Get Up and Go Challenge. This is the fourth one that I've done during and since the beginning of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And I've done a couple shorter ones, and I've done a couple of in-between things to just share life lessons and lessons learned in my 60 years here on the planet. But also this is the fourth time I've gone through it, and every time it's different. And just like the other times, this one is no exception. It's different. We're on day 9, and we have not even gotten into the framework that we're going to install, the SOAP framework it's called, to guarantee that people get better results after any change or challenge that they face than before they had that change or challenge. And that's a pretty bold statement, but I'm 100% confident making it because I've been through literally hundreds of thousands of challenges and changes myself that I have used this process on. Now, I'd never called it this process, not intentionally until COVID-19, but it seems so fitting to have SOAP be the acronym that reminds us what to do. And if we do this a couple of times and often enough, and we find success with the framework, it becomes automatic, and we use it over and over and over again. I think about the other frameworks I've learned during my lifetime that I've actually used for decades. I think of Plan, Do, Check, Act. When I was in college and in my quality studies and quality courses, I took a lot of courses on quality because I found it fascinating. In my engineering program, we could take an emphasis on quality and quality management and quality leadership. Now, to me, quality means I could stick my nose in everybody's business. If you're high up enough in the organization and the quality function, you could define it, or I chose to define it as the way we do everything, the processes and the systems and the procedures and how we do everything in the organization and how that works together to ensure that the customer gets the quality and the products and services they expect, including the customer experience. So that literally meant I could stick my nose in anybody's business in any department at any level of the organization, because it's all designed to work together to create the best customer experience possible, right? Of course. So I was fascinated by quality from the get-go, and I liked that every quality initiative that would be carried out in an organization always was more successful if it started at the top and worked its way down versus something that starts at the bottom and works its way up, often gets killed. So that was another thing that appealed to me about the quality function. So I hopped into quality, loved my courses, but one of the things that I learned, a foundational framework, is the framework of Plan, Do, Check, Act. And I still use that framework today. There aren't very many things that we've learned in our lifetime that we use throughout our entire life. I mean, think back to high school and all the crazy stuff you learned that you actually have never, ever used or applied again. I think there's certain math things like differential equations and things. I spent years as an engineer studying math and science and things, and I have not once ever had to do a differential equation on anything. That's what computers are for, right? And that's what technology is for these days. So thinking about and talking about and doing the challenge, I wanted to create a framework, or I want to name a framework that I've been using, a system and a process and tools that I've been using literally for at least the last decade intentionally. Prior to that, very sporadically and not necessarily intentionally and not consistently, but since 2010, consistently, I have used a process to deal with changes and challenges because I faced and have faced at the ultimate challenge 10 years ago. And I needed to make sure that I was going to still be here to talk about that. And that's when I really in earnest went to work studying what the heck happened, how we work, how I could work, how I could make my life better, and realized that there's an easy way to do things and there's a hard way to do things. And I'm like, why would we not do things the easy way? Why would we not set ourselves up for success? So that's what my life is all about now, is simplifying, setting up for success, systems and habits and rituals and procedures and whatever you want to call them for my routines that help me to ensure that I'm always moving in the direction I want to go. And I want to help other people to do that same thing. So Get Up and Go Challenge Day 9 today was about flip switching. I learned this from Lynn Grabhorn back in 2011, because in 2010, I heard about it, but I don't think I'd started it yet. She has a playbook called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. I highly recommend it to anybody. There are a lot of concepts in there that are very woo-woo and maybe too deep for some people, but it's one of those things I think you should get the book and put it on your bookshelf, and someday when you're ready for it and when it calls to you, you'll know that you want to open it and do the exercises. Now, she has a book as well. She's since passed away, but there's a book, and that's awesome. Read the book, but the workbook is where the real power lies, because you take the concepts and the things that she teaches and you make them your own. It took me a year to go through her playbook the first time. It literally took me a year, and I thought that was an anomaly. But in April, I started going through it again, and here we are in October, and I don't even think I'm halfway through. Now, for a lot of reasons, right? The exercises personally challenge us to grow. And sometimes they're hard to do. Sometimes I forget about it for a few days or don't choose to do it for a few days. Other times I get on an exercise. Now, I've spent probably the last 2 weeks on the current exercise that I'm on, because I want to practice it. I want to figure it out. I want to make it my own and really get the benefit out of that particular exercise. So I guess this one will probably take me a year to get through the second time. And it's all good because it's all helping me to be a better version of myself. So Get Up and Go Challenge. Fun challenge today was about fun foods that are annoying, which I thought was terrific. It was a saying from Miss Piggy about artichokes, which is hilarious because I really like artichokes, but I totally agree that there's so much work for the amount of food that you get out of them. It's almost kind of funny. Unless, of course, you buy a can of artichoke hearts or something, then that doesn't even count. It's take the vegetable, peel off all the little strips after you cook it, dip them in butter, and then bite them off. Learned that from our friends in Montana when I was a kid. And I love artichokes, but I very seldom, if ever, will buy an actual artichoke and eat it because they're fun, but there's so much work for the amount of food you get off of them. I guess they're not about eating, they're about fun. So it's a fun challenge today. Was share a food that's fun, but annoying. You like to eat, but it's annoying. Pomegranates are that way to me. I love pomegranates, but when you have to Google something or YouTube something to figure out how to deal with it, then it's probably fun, but you have to sometimes wonder, is it really worth all the effort? I say with pomegranates, yes. Other things, maybe not so much. Supersize your business idiom today was spick and span, which is totally in line with what we're doing right now. Spick and span means neat, tidy, organized, new. And COVID-19, I think, has impacted all of us to have to actually beef up our, at least personal hygiene, our sanitation, masks, whatever is required in your area. It's caused all of us on a personal level to make changes, but it's especially impacted our organizations and how we need to ensure our employees' safety, our product safety, our customers' safety, our work environments. Everything has changed. It's put a huge emphasis on an area that frankly was always a second-class citizen. I remember I inherited the sanitation department at my last corporate job. I went in as the quality director, and within 3 months, I inherited the entire sanitation function, which in a giant industrial bakery is a big job, a big department. And frankly, I didn't know a whole lot about sanitation back then, but I definitely learned really, really quickly. And it actually became one of my favorite things and my favorite things to manage because it fits so well with the quality function, as does everything, because quality is everybody's business. And that meant I got to stick my nose in everybody's business. And it takes everybody to create safety and quality for an organization. So today was about being spick and span, where that comes from, what does it mean, and how can you use it in your business today? And of course, today more than ever, it's so applicable to our businesses. So we talked about how do you get spick and span. I just got and finished a master class yesterday. And of course, I haven't done it for a while, but I bought the product and I consumed a lot of it yesterday, which is interesting. I guess I needed a little growth spurt, a learning spurt. So I consumed a lot of it yesterday, a couple more pieces to it that were bonuses that I'll probably consume over the weekend because I'm curious about it. Person that I have respect for that I had a bad experience with them in the past, and I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I bet the person didn't even know that it ended up being a negative interaction. I mean, they might have known, but I bet it was like not even a blip on their radar. It's kind of like being in traffic. You're getting all upset and getting road rage, but the people around you are oblivious. They're just going about their business, driving to work, doing whatever. So it's probably one of those things, and I just laughed. But he did say something political that I found really inappropriate and out of context. And if I were him, I would edit that out of the master class and just not even have it in there. But that's just me. I'm like, you can say things that add value to the conversation, or you can say things that are critical, judgmental, and negative. And I thought it came off as critical, judgmental, and negative from a person that is in no position to judge, right? It's like me. I don't judge because I am in no position to judge. I have no real firsthand knowledge of any of the players in certain situations. And if I do, I do comment sometimes, and I get mad at myself because I'm like, I don't even know. I only know what I see and observe and the games that are being played, and I can judge that, but I can't judge the individuals, especially not on a personal basis. That's why all this name calling and nonsense in politics has always driven me right up a wall. It just makes me insane. To criticize someone's character when you have no personal experience or knowledge or information about them is ridiculous. It's why haters are so ridiculous. It used to bother me, and now I just laugh because I'm like, you have no idea who I am, what I've been through, what I provide, what I'm about, what my intentions are. You're only hating because you're seeing what I'm doing, the surface of what I'm doing, and you don't understand it, or you wish you were doing it, and you're resentful because you're not doing it. I found that, and early on, haters really bother you, but as you go through life, you're like, whatever, you scolded at me. Boy, you must be having a bad day. Now I honestly automatically think if somebody gives me a dirty look or says something rude to me, I automatically think they must be having a bad day and it's about them. For years, we all are, indoctrinated to believe that there's something wrong with us if people reject us or don't like us or give us or treat us badly. But it's never, ever, ever about us. It's always about them. And it's usually about a lack in them. A lack of a lot of things, but a lack. It's not usually, it doesn't ever come from a place of love and abundance. It always comes from a place of lack and jealousy and greed or whatever negative thing that's associated with that. Evil, I guess I call that evil, right? Negative is evil. Not negative isn't, well, that's a broad statement. Heavy, black, dark, evil emotions. They're evil in that they take us away from who we really are. They take us away and they cause more darkness in our lives, which none of us need. We need more light in our lives. So that's what I'm working on. Is it a way to procrastinate from working on my book? Probably. Yeah, probably is. Which I committed to working on and coming up with a better way than procrastination to buy myself some decision-making time. So I'm going to come up with that. I committed to coming up with that as part of my homework for today's challenge. So I need to, in the next couple of days, figure out how I'm going to do that, because procrastination is like, it's a thief. It steals my time and energy. And then I end up beating myself up because I didn't do anything productive in the time that I was procrastinating. So there's got to be a better thing for me to personally do and substitute than procrastination. All right. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow for a little update on my transition from the brick and mortar offline world of real businesses to the online world. Take care.